You may begin to wonder how it might feel to simply let go of all the old scripts, the outdated operating systems, the ones that ran by doubt, hesitation, fear, and waiting for permission. You might already feel that something new, something certain, has already started to stir. Because you were born with certainty, weren't you? Before you learned to hesitate, you knew what you wanted. Before someone told you no, your natural state was yes. Exploration, curiosity, joy. And maybe you don't remember the moment you decided, but at some point you began to believe, I know, I can. This is mine. As you begin to remember that now, you might also discover that certainty, it isn't a decision, it's a return to what's already within you. Not something to create, but something to uncover. There once was a man who walked through a village with a mirror on his back. Every person who saw him didn't see him. They saw themselves, and each reflection was different. Calm people saw peace. Angry people saw chaos. Uncertain people saw fog. One child finally asked, "Why do you carry a mirror instead of a map?" And the man smiled and said, "Because when you see clearly, you know exactly where to go." Now isn't it interesting how certainty begins with clarity? And clarity comes when you stop seeking permission and start listening to your own reflection. Self-belief, it isn't something you build, it's something you remember. Like a song you forgot the lyrics to until the melody plays again. Now if you think about it, a bird never waits for wind approval before it takes flight. It simply leaps, opens its wings, and lets momentum teach it how to glide. In the same way, those who live with certainty, they don't wait for the perfect moment. They know that action creates clarity. They move, they decide. Because when you decide, even if you decide wrong, you're already ahead of the person waiting to decide right. And so your unconscious can begin to wonder now, what would it feel like to install decisiveness as your default setting, knowing that every decision is just a stepping stone to refinement. There's a fire inside you, not one that burns out, but one that burns through doubt, through fear, through the static noise of other people's expectations. And this fire, it only asks one thing from you. Feed it with attention, fuel it with vision. Because when you hold a vision long enough, the world begins to rearrange itself around that vision. Certainty isn't waiting for evidence. Certainty creates evidence. That your unconscious absorbs that idea. Maybe you can feel your internal thermostat adjusting to that new operating temperature, once set to unstoppable. Imagine being the ocean. Not a wave, not a ripple, not a drop, but the whole vast, deep, unshakable ocean. When storms arrive, you don't resist, you expand. You let the winds dance, but deep down, you're still calm, still certain. This is what emotional mastery feels like. Not denying the waves, but knowing you're deeper than them. When someone challenges your ideas, you smile. Because you know that certainty, it isn't the absence of feedback, it's the integration of it. And suddenly, every conflict becomes a refinement, every mistake a compass. Your unconscious already knows this truth. Failure doesn't exist, there's only feedback. And in any interaction, the strongest frame wins. When you walk in with certainty, when your body says, I'm here, I know, I got this, people lean in, they mirror, they follow. Because certainty is magnetic. It's not what you say, but how you say it, how you breathe, how you move, how you hold silence. When you act with certainty, you give others permission to believe in themselves too. Now imagine this, you're the architect of your mind. And this moment is the blueprint rewrite. All beliefs crumble like scaffolding that served its time. In their place, you lay foundations made of I'm enough. My energy creates reality. Challenges grow me. People respond to my presence, not just my words. Every interaction is an opportunity to connect deeper. Authenticity is my amplifier. As you lay those bricks of belief, you begin to notice this isn't motivation, this is installation. And maybe you're already starting to realize you don't need to remember everything that I said, because your unconscious had already heard the message between the words. Like a spiral staircase that only becomes visible after the first steps. And with each loop, each layer, each metaphor, you're already waking up. Not towards something new, but towards the self that you've always been. Let go now. Not to forget, but to integrate. Let the old stories dissolve. Let the new code install. And welcome certainty home.